Right, welcome to the channel. We've got some very interesting news today. This is going to be a bit of an exploration into, well, this whole big pile of mess that's happening around He-Man. People will be aware He-Man and the Masters of the Universe it's long been in the works. We've had a film in the works for a long time, and we recently had announced a Kevin Smith anime series, or animated series. But now we've got more news. 3 things on the go, ladies and gents. All potentially heading to Netflix. What is going on? So He-Man and the Master of the Universe, Netflix and Mattel return to Grayscale for CG series. Okay. Now, this is the new project. I know, because you're probably going to read Netflix and go, well, this is the Kevin Smith one. It's really not. It's not, and this is why it gets so interesting. So Netflix and Mattel Television are producing He-Man and the Master of the Universe, an original CG animated adventure series that will reimagine the popular Reagan-era toy-based franchise with a fresh take on its fantasy heroes. The CG animation undertaking will be a brand companion. Now that's important to note for Netflix's previously announced Mattel partnership on the 2D anime series Master of the Universe Revelation from filmmaker Kevin Smith. Now they have a logline for this, and it says the logline: on the planet of Eternia, a young lost prince discovers the powers of Grayskull and transforms into He-Man, Master of the Universe. The classic battle between He-Man and the evil Skeletor rages to new heights as both hero and villain forge new and mighty teams. A new generation of heroes fighting for the fate of us all. In the end, who will become Master of the Universe? Now, the series itself is being produced by Mattel Television with Adam Bonnet, Christopher Keenan, who did Justice League, Batman Beyond, and Rob David, who did Master of the Universe Revelation, who was on Master of the Universe Revelation. So that's important to note as well. And he also did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which, whatever. Serving as executive producers. The series was developed for television by Rob David. And there, I believe, there was also some posters. Now, there's some interesting statements as well. So we've got Fred Soley, Mattel's Senior Vice President of Content Distribution and Business Development, said the series will strive for a contemporary appeal that also satisfies longtime fans of the sword and sorcery exploits of characters such as Extendar, Man-at-Arms, Gwillar, Battle Cat, and Roboto. Master of the Universe is one of the most iconic global franchises of all time, with a 30-year history and a passionate fan base. The entire team at Mattel is excited to introduce the world of He-Man to a new generation, and together with the talented team at Netflix to reimagine, so that's important as well, to reimagine the classic characters in a way that appeals to kids and families today, while also resonating with the fans who grew up with them. So we had this. So this is important. This is a poster. Now, it's really important to take a look at the art design on this. So this is stark contrast to anything that's really been released at the moment in the whole kind of world of He-Man and things like that. Now there was also one for Skeletor. I can't get that up at the moment, sorry. Now this is interesting because let's directly compare it to the Kevin Smith He-Man anime series, right? Okay. So remember, this is a brand companion, but an adaptation and reimagining. Okay, and this one from Kevin Smith, this one here is a continuation of the original series. It's supposed to wrap up stories, which I think is very surprising. It does say, I mean, they do say, right, a wholly original story set in the epic world of Mattel's over 35-year-old global He-Man franchise. Even though they say a wholly original story, we do know that it says, in Revelation, we pick up right where the classic era left off to tell an epic tale of what may be the final battle between He-Man and Skeletor. This is the Master of the Universe story you always wanted to see as a kid. So we've got a CG series, which is a reimagining and adaptation for families and kids, new era, whilst also appealing to old fans. Then we've got this one, which is continuing the classic era, picking up old stories, and a final battle between He-Man and Skeletor. It sounds like they're gonna... Again, it says what may be the final battle between He-Man and Skeletor. It looks like they're probably going to try and round this out as a done series, as a finished, an actual finale. But again, art style, completely different. Completely different. I mean, this is like classic-ish He-Man. Again, all on Netflix. And then we have this one. Right? This is the rumour of Sony looking to sell He-Man and their Master of the Universe, or the movie Master of the Universe, to Netflix. Could we be seeing, and I'm going to throw it out there, I don't necessarily think this is the case, but could we be seeing Netflix trying to partner with Mattel a little bit more? Maybe? Maybe. It's just a very, very surprising turn of events. Now, for those that don't know, I did a whole video on this, but just as a quick recap, basically, there's a dilemma. Essentially, there was some rumours. Sources told The Hollywood Reporter. So sources tell The Hollywood Reporter that studio chairman Tom Rothman is exploring the prospect of getting a risk-free cash for the pricey project by making it for Netflix instead. A studio source says talks are preliminary, but such a deal would make Sony the next studio after Paramount to start making movies belonging exclusively or almost exclusively to the streamer. Because obviously, He-Man is going to be expensive. You have to create a fantasy world. It's bright, it's primary colours. It's very, it'll be CG heavy soundstage. You can't do a lot of that on location. I mean, you can do some of it, but the majority, they'd probably just CG it. So it's going to be very expensive. It's going to be a very, very expensive movie. And they're looking to, rather than take the risk by going to a cinema, theatres with this, they're looking just to earn instant profit and just sell it off to Netflix. Which I can definitely see the appeal. But I also think that that's a shame because it's also counter-programming, right? This is the era where we could definitely do some counter-programming. Strong male characters, people want to go see these things. It beats all the other kind of crap that we've been seeing non-stop. It could be great. But I think this is all part of Netflix and their kind of master plan. Like I say, the fact that we have now got potentially three He-Man projects underway. 3 Mattel projects underway for Netflix. I think this is us seeing potentially the beginnings of Netflix partnering with Mattel on a more permanent or semi-permanent basis. So just to kind of wrap it up, we've got the Kevin Smith anime continuing on from the old one. I think that's going to be good. I think that'll be interesting. This one, on the other hand, don't know. I don't know about this one in particular. The fact that it's a brand companion, the fact that it is a reimagining, and all of this kind of stuff does have me a little bit concerned. And also, this art style is not for me. I don't think this particular art style is really for anyone that was a major fan of the original. This is new stuff. This is like Justice League, some of the DC Justice League movies that have been out there of late or in the last kind of 5-ish to 10 years. This is very much that. That's that style. And for me, that's not for me. I'm not really on board with that. I don't really like that art style. I'm a massive fan of actual hand-drawn art. I think that's great. I think it works very well animated. And then we've got the Sony movie, which I think is a disaster if they sell it to Netflix. Because I want more sword and sorcery and adventure. And I want a bit of toxic masculinity in my theatres now. And I also think Sony are selling themselves short if they were to flog it off to Netflix. Because I think with counter-programming, I think you're in for a winner. I genuinely think you're in for a winner. I mean, we saw that recently with the likes of Rambo. Rambo took some pretty good money. And a whole bunch of other stuff, actually, recently as well. So there's a whole... We're seeing a turning of the tide. But this is interesting, bit of an exploration. What do you think? Love to hear it. Let me know down below in the comment section. If you are new here, do hit subscribe. You can stay up to date on the world of pop culture and movie news by hitting the bell notification icon. Hope you all had a great Christmas. I've missed the age. Take care.